जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण, dear devotees. So today is Thursday. It is the 26th of June. It is Ashadha Masa or Vamana Masa and the Shukla Paksham in the Padjami or Pratipat, the first day of the Paksha. Okay, so there is one Vaishnav event in the calendar. So this is today is Gundecha Madhyami. So this is with the uh, celebration in the Jagannath Puri. So we shall read some information from the special Vaishnava days. This is the festival of Gundecha Madhyana, the cleansing of the Gundecha temple. The day before Rath Yatra, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took all the devotees to the Gundecha temple, and everyone, including Lord Chaitanya, very seriously cleansed the old temple in readiness for the arrival of Lord Jagannatha, Lord Baladeva, and Lady Subhadra. So this amazing pastime is found in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 12, Gundecha Madhya. So in this way, the Lord passed some days in great jubilation. Then the car festival of Lord Jagannath approached. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first of all called for Kashi Mishra, then for the superintendent of the temple, then for Swami Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. When these three people came before the Lord, he begged them for permission to wash the temple known as Gundicha. So Gundecha temple is situated 2 miles northeast of the Jagannath temple. At the time of the Rath Yatra festival, Lord Jagannath goes to the Gundecha temple from his original temple and stays there for 1 week. After 1 week, he returns to his original temple. It is understood by hearsay that the wife of Indradyumna, the king who established the Jagannath temple, was known as Gundecha. There is also mention of the name of the Gundecha temple in authoritative scripture. The area of the Gundecha temple is estimated to be 288 cubits by 215 cubits. The cubit is about a foot and a foot and a half. The main temple inside is about 36 cubits by 30 cubits, and the Kirtana hall is 32 by 30 cubits. So upon hearing the Lord's request for permission to wash the Gundicha temple, the Pandit, the Panditcha, the superintendent of the temple said, "My dear sir, we are all your servants. Whatever you desire is our duty to perform." The king gave special order for me to do without delay whatever your lordship orders. So, my dear lord, washing the temple is not service befitting you. Nonetheless, if you wish to do so, it is to be accepted as one of your pastimes. To wash the temple, you need many water pots and brooms. Therefore, order me. I can immediately bring all these things to you. As soon as the superintendent understood the desire of the Lord, he immediately delivered 100 new water pots and 100 brooms for sweeping the temple. The next day, early in the morning, the Lord took his personal associates with him and his own hand smeared sandalwood pulp on their bodies. He then gave each devotee a broom with his own hand, and taking all of them personally with him, the Lord went to Gundicha. In this way, the Lord and his associates went to cleanse the Gundicha temple. At first, they cleansed the temple with brooms. The Lord cleansed everything inside the temple very nicely, including the ceiling. He then took up the sitting place, Simhasana, cleansed it, and again put it in its original place. Thus, the Lord and his companions cleansed and swept all the temple's buildings, big and small, and finally cleansed the area between the temple and the Kirtana hall. Indeed, hundreds of devotees were engaged in cleansing all around the temple, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally carrying out the operation just to instruct others. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the temple in great jubilation. chanting the holy name of the Lord Krishna all the time. Similarly, all the devotees were also chanting and at the same time performing their respective duties. The entire beautiful body of the Lord was covered with dust and dirt. In this way, it became transcendently beautiful. At times, when cleansing the temple, the Lord shed tears, and in some places, he even cleansed with those tears. After this, the place where the deity's food was kept, Bhogamandira, was cleansed. Then the yard was cleansed, and then all the residential quarters, one after the other. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected all the straw, dust, and grains of sand in one place, he gathered it all in his cloth and threw it outside. Follow the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the devotees in great jubilation began to gather straws and dust with their own clothes and throw them outside the temple. The Lord then told the devotees, I can tell how much you have labored and how well you have cleansed the temple simply by seeing all the straw and dust you have collected outside. Even though all the devotees collected dirt in one pile, the dirt collected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was much greater. After the inside of the temple was cleansed, the Lord again allotted areas for the devotees to cleanse. The Lord then ordered everyone to cleanse the inside of the temple very perfectly by taking finer dust, straws, and grains of sand and throwing them outside. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas cleansed the temple for the second time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to see the cleansing work. While the temple was being swept around, about 100 men stood ready with filled water pots and they simply awaited the Lord's order to throw the water from them. Okay, so this is how the Gundicha, there is further very beautiful pastimes. I will share in the WhatsApp group later on. Okay, so today is that Gundicha Marjana. Okay, so apart from that, we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Buddha was speaking to Vidura so about the Krishna's pastimes, how he has foreseen all the destruction of the Yadu family, and then he went to a tree, and then he sat under that tree after touching the Saraswati water. So Bhagavan swa atmamayaya gatim tam avalokya saha Saraswati upasprusya vruksha moolam upavishat. So here, whatever has happened by the Tesham Maire Dhoshena Vishmikuta Chetasam Nimlochiti Ravavasit Vejunamiva Madhanam. So giving like the sun is set and then the forest is burned by the bamboo trees. Likewise, by Maire Dhoshena, by the intoxication of this Varuni, all the Yadu family got destroyed. That has happened. Bhagavan Swa Atma Maya. Swa Atma Mayaya. So by internal potency of the Lord. And Krishna, Gatim Tam Avalokya Saha, after he foresees that one, he went to the Saraswati Upasprusya. So he touched the Saraswati water and then Rukshamolam Upavishet. He went to that tree. This is the Ashwatha tree and he sat under that tree, Rukshamolam. Okay, so likewise, Buddha is saying to Vidura. So today further he is saying that, oh Vidura, so before it has happened, the Lord asked me to go to the Badrikashrama. So and also Lord is the always removes the distress of the surrendered souls. So I am a surrendered soul to Krishna. So even though Krishna asked me to go to Badrikashrama, but knowing that the intention of the Lord, that he wanted to destroy his family, I have followed behind the Lord. And because I could not tolerate the separation from my Lord. Likewise, Uddhava is saying to Vidura. So we are in a Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 4, verse number 4 and 5. अहं चोक्तो भगवता प्रपन्नाति हारेणः बद्रीं त्वं प्रयाहीति स्वकुलं सञ्जिहीषुन् अहं चोक्तो भगवता aham is I aham ch uktaha bhagavata I was told by the supreme lord aham chokto bhagavata prapannati harenaha and prapanna ati harenaha I am the surrendered soul to Krishna prapanna ati harenaha and the lord is ati harena whoever is surrendered unto the lord he will remove the distress of all the surrendered souls. So, Ati Harena is by he who is the vanquisher of the distresses. Ha, indeed. Prapanna Ati Harenaha. Badrim Tvam Prayahiti. So, Badrim to Badrikashrama, Tvam you Prayahiti, you should go. Iti in such a way, Lord instructed Uddhava. Swakulam Sam Jihishuna, but his own family, Swakulam, his own family, Jihishuna, who desired to destroy. So Uddhava understand that Krishna is going to destroy his own family. Swakulam samjihishuna. Aham chokto bhagavata prapannati harenaha badrim tvam prapanna prayahiti swakulam sanjihishuna. The translation for this shloka is, the Lord is the vanquisher of the distresses of one who is surrendered unto him. Thus, he who desired to destroy his family told me previously to go to Badrikashram. And further, he is saying, Tatapi tad abhipretam janan aham arindhama पृष्ठतो अन्वघमं भट्टुः पादविश्लेषण अक्षमः तथापि तद् अभिप्रेतम्. So in spite of I was told to go to the Badrikashrama, tat abhipretam. So I know the desire of the Lord. Tad abhipretam janan. Janan is the knowing the desire of the Lord. Tad abhipretam janan. And what did I did? Aham, myself, O Vidura, Arindhama, O subduer of the enemies, O Vidura. Prishtato anvagamam battuhu. Prishtaha. So I followed behind Prishtataha anvagamam. I followed behind the Lord. Battuhu. Battu is the master. So here Buddha is always serving the Lord. That's right. He is addressed as the Battuhu. Prishtatu anvagamam Battuhu. Pada Vishleshana Akshamaham. So Pada Vishleshana is separation from his lotus feet. Akshamaha. He is not able to tolerate. Not able to tolerate the separation from the Lord. तथापि तदभिप्रेतं जानन्नहम् अरिन्दम पृष्ठतो अन्वगमं बत्तुः पादविश्लेषण अक्षमः. Translation, yet in spite of my knowing his desire to destroy the dynasty, O Arindama, O Vidura, I followed him because it was impossible for me to bear separation from the lotus feet of the master. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is a tiny purport. Can I request any unallocated devotees to read the tiny purport, please?
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
While at the Dwarka, Uddhava was warned to avoid the distress which were to follow the disappearance of the Lord and the destruction of the Yadu dynasty. He was advised to proceed to Badrikama because there he could associate with devotee of Naranarayan, and in their association of devotional service, he could increase his eagerness of chanting, caring, knowledge, and detachment. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hari Bol.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, when Dwaraka, when Uddhava was at Dwaraka, so he was warned to avoid the distresses. Uddhava, who has accompanied Krishna throughout his life, from his childhood, when he was 5 years old, he used to play with Krishna's toys. And even though when his mother was calling him, he does not want to go. He just wanted to play. So since that 5 years old, he was trained, and later on when Krishna came from Vrindavana to the Madhura, from that point onwards, he is always accompanying Krishna. So now he understands that the Krishna's desire. So Krishna wanted Uddhava to go to the Badrikashrama, because if he sees that the Krishna's own family is getting destroyed, then he could not tolerate. So to avoid that distress, Buddha was warned to avoid the distress, which were to follow the disappearance of the Lord and the destruction of the Yadu dynasty. So there were very few people left. So after the destruction, so one Vidra is one of it, and then Vajranabha, and also Daruka, and then so even Vasudeva and Devaki, so they have left their body after hearing the news that Krishna has departed from this world. So and then so some of these Dwaraka Krishna's wives, and some of the wives, they have entered into the fire of the Krishna's body. Of course, there is again different parties. So yata natya yata nato natya dharo yata. It is just a kind of a magician that Krishna has performed. So very few people left. So here, Lord does not want Uddhava to see all those things. So he instructed Uddhava to go to the Badrikashrama. He was advised to proceed to Badrikashrama because there he could associate with the devotees of Naranarayana. Okay, and in their association of devotional service, he could increase his eagerness for chanting, hearing, and knowledge and detachment. So this is even in the Dhruv Maharaj also in his last times. Um, so when he was ruling, so there was a fight between Dhruva and the Yakshas. So after that Yakshas, he got benedictions from the Kuvera that he would not forget Krishna at any point of time. Later on, after he came back, and then he has ruled his kingdom for 36,000 years. And also by the time itself, when he was young itself, at the time Swayambhumanu came to him, and he also gave instructions to Dhruva as well. So after that 36,000 years, he has ruled the kingdom just like a father looks after his family. He ruled all his subjects nicely. And at the last moment, so Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitamatmani, just like a thinking that all this universe, it is just like a drum, a capture. Maya rachitamatmani, it is like a Maya spider web. It captures and it holds him for so many years here. Maya rachitamatmani. And the Kalopa system iti. This is again Avidya Rachita Swapna Gandharva Nagaropamam. This is Avidya Rachita Swapna. It is a dream. Gandharva Nagaropamam. It is phantasmagoria. So this is Gandharva Nagaropam. The Sanskrit word is we used to see this phantasmagoria number of times. This is Gandharva Nagaropamam. So likewise, Dhruv Maharaj, he understood like that. And then after that, he left to the Badrikashrama. Same as here, Uddhava, he went to Badrikashrama. Dhruv Maharaj also went to Badrikashrama. Kalopusustimiti Saprayayu Vishalam. He went there. There, Tasyam Vishuddhakarinaha Sivavar Vigashyaha Badvasanam Jitamaran Manasa Hutakshaha. And then Stule Dadara Bhagat Pratirupayetad. Stule Bhagavat Stule Dadara Bhagat Pratirupayetad. Jayantadavhitaha Visrujat Samadhav. There he engaged in meditating on the form of the Lord. That is the devotional service. In the Badrikashrama, this devotional service happens. All the Dhruv Maharaj is an example here. He also went there. He meditated in the form of the Lord. That is devotional service. There, in this devotional service, chanting, hearing, and gaining the knowledge and detachment, all things that happen. And then finally, he says that sa dadarsha vimana ghrim navaso avatar dhruvaha vibhradyat dasha raka pati vivoditam. He says that airplane that comes from the Vaikuntha planet, that Yetan Vimanagrim Uttama Shloka Maurina. That Vimana, the airplane which was sent by Uttama Shloka Maurina, by the Lord of Vaikunta. So for this Vidura to take them, so to take to take Dhruv Maharaj along with Sunandananda, they speak to. It is very beautiful. That is where this Badrikashrama and all the great sages, they're all there. And whenever Uddhava is going back to Godhead, whenever Dhruv Maharaj is going back to Godhead in the aeroplane, he went to all the sages there. He offered his obeisances, and then he took a pradakshina of the aeroplane, and also he does archana to this airplane, and also the Sunanda and Nanda. And then he boarded. When he was boarding, his body turned into very golden color. So during that time, तदोत्तान पदः पुत्रो तदा उत्तान पदः पुत्रो ददर्श antam agatam. At the time the personified death was coming, dadarsha antam agatam. Antam is the lord of death. Agatam, by looking at mrityoho murdhni padam dattva. So by keeping his step on top of the head of this mrityor murdhni padam dattva aroha adbhutam gruham. He entered into that airplane, beautiful airplane. That has happened in the Badrikashrama. Adbhutam Gruham. That airplane is described Adbhutam Gruham, very beautiful. It looks like a house. Okay, so this all happens in the Badrikashrama. So it is a nice place it is conducive to execute a devotional service. Okay, so Uddhava was advised by the Lord to go to the Badrikashrama. But Uddhava, later on, of course, he followed behind the Lord, and then finally he saw that Lord was sitting under the tree. Later on, he met the Lord, and finally, after hearing those instructions, he came to that Yamuna river where he has met this Vidura now. The conversations are happening. After these conversations, he goes back to Badrikashram as Lord advised. Okay, so that is, and here a few things like a prapanati hare arti hare naha. Aham cha muktu bhagavata prapanati hare naha. A few words in this shloka, arti hare naha. Whoever is surrendered unto the Lord, their arti, their distress will be immediately dissipated. So Mukena Lokati Harasmitena Parispurat Kundala Manditena Sonaitena Adrebimba Basa Pratyarhyantam Sunasena Subhrava. By looking the face of the Lord, his form, his beauty, one's distress will be immediately subsided. And then further is Pad Vishleshana Akshamaha. A devotee who has always serving the Lord, he could not tolerate separating from the Lord. Bhattopada Vishleshanakshamaha. Just like a traveler, after when Dhautatma Purushaha Krishna Pada Moolam Namunchati Mukta Sarup Parikleshaha Pantaha Swasaranam Yata. Dhautatma is who is completely surrendered. Krishna Pada Moolam Namunchati, he will never ever leave Krishna's lotus feet. So just like a Pantaha Swasaranam Yata. And then a traveler, after Mukta Sarva Parikleshaha, after traveling up so much of disturbances in his travel, his body getting aches, and then he is tired. After he comes to the his home, he feels so much of relief. Likewise, a person's soul wandering throughout the universe in all the 14 planetary systems here and there, all kinds of living entities. Once he comes to lotus feet of Krishna, he feels, and then he will never ever leave. But here Uddhava is like that. He could not separate Pada Vishleshana Akshamaha. So I could not tolerate leaving the Lord. That's why I have followed behind Krishna. Even though he asked me to go to Badrikashama, I followed. Prushtato Swagamam Battuhu. I went behind. Prushtato behind, Swagamam Battuhu. I followed Krishna behind. Okay, likewise, Uddhava saying to Vidura. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. अहं चोत्तो भगवता प्रपन्नाति हरेणः बदरीं त्वं प्रयाहीति स्वकुलं संजिहीषुन तथापि तदभिप्रेतं जानन् अहम् अरिन्दम पृष्ठतो अन्वगमं भर्तुः पादविश्लेषणाक्षमः. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's letter. So today letter to Yamuna, September 16th, 1970, Calcutta. Okay, can I request another devotee to read this letter, please? Okay, I shall read it. My dear Yamuna, please accept my blessings. I am so much pleased to receive your letter dated Hrishikesha 22nd, 484, Chaitanya era. And I am so glad to learn that our London temple is very, very well managed under your supervision. Kindly continue this standard of temple management that will make me very happy. Here in India, I am trying to establish a branch. We have come here 8 strong Vaishnavas and Tamala Krishna is also with me. We are getting encouragement and there is similar situation in New York and other US cities. Yesterday morning, Tamala along with other 2 devotees went to the downtown quarters and they immediately gathered about 500 men and collected 25 rupees also without any magazine or literature. Books and magazines worth about $60,000 are coming from Tokyo very shortly. Then we will have vigorous preaching work in Calcutta. We are already in a very nice house, 5 stories, and we are getting another still better house in North Calcutta. So the program executed by you on Janmashtami and Nandochwa days appears to be very nice, and I am so glad that you remember my childhood name, Nandu, given by one of my uncles. And regarding your program of duties for the brahmacharis and brahmacharinis and grihastha men and women, this is a very nice arrangement. The girls should manage internally and the boy should manage externally. So all of you have my hearty blessings for your kind service to Lord Krishna. Be always engaged in this way and become happy. I understand that Shyam Sundar and Gurudas are appointed to oversee the European centers in the absence of Tamala Krishna. So ask them to send reports once in a fortnight. I am very anxious to see our bank back to Godhead printed in French and German languages, just like our English language edition. I have received the news clippings sent by you. These articles are very nice. I have seen and I am showing everyone who comes to me. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so any points, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Any comments? Okay, so in this letter, Prabhupada is mentioning about the appreciation of the Bhaktivedanta Mana temple. I think it is a London temple. It's not specifically mentioned. I think it is London temple. It is very, very well managed. So one is appreciation, and the Prabhupada is telling about his activities in the Calcutta. And also mentioned that there are so many people came and then they have collected some money from them without any magazines or literatures. But still further 60,000 magazines are coming from Tokyo shortly. So that is for the preaching work. And I also just mentioning about his accommodations, five nice house with 5 stories. So like that. And then so Prabhupada is mentioning about his childhood name Nandu because he was born a day after uh, Janmashtami. So this is the Nandotsava. So that's why he was also called Nandu like that. Okay, so and apart from that, Yamuna Mataji was just doing this program of duties for the brahmacharis and brahmacharinis and grahastha men and women. That is very nice. So one must be learning all these points. Then he can execute his duties nicely. If he is at home or if he is at temple, whether he is married or not married. So Father's blessings for that. And then uh, again here, Shyam Sundara and Gurudasa were looking after the European Center. So if you have got any information, so you can send them. So Tamala Krishna is now with Prabhupada. Okay, so these are few points from this letter. And Prabhupada is showing all these clippings, whatever Yamuna Mataji was sending. So these articles are very nice. I have seen and then showing to everyone who comes to me. Okay, so likewise, Prabhupada is appreciating the devotees Yamuna Mataji and her work. It is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Um, any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, so that is from Prabhupada's letter and from the announcements point of view. So today, Thursday, we have got Krishna book reading at 8 p.m. with Shyam Prabhuji. Okay, that is our upcoming event and coming Saturday, it is our Chaitanya Charitamrita. Debashish Prabhuji, do you have any speaker for Chaitanya Charitamrita coming Saturday?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I will ask. I didn't ask anyone. I will ask and let you know.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that is from the updates, and also with regards to the Jagannath Rath Yatra, the fundraise for Vrindavan Das Prabhuji. So I shall be sending a statement today, and then transfer all of it, all the funds to Vrindavan Das Prabhuji. Okay, and then we are winding up. So the devotees kindly do not send any more funds after today. I'll be sending this maybe after 11 o'clock, something like that. Okay, that is one update from me. And if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, there are no further updates, then we shall
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry. Quickly, in today's purport, you mentioned that, Uddhava was sent to Badrikashram to worship Naranarayan. So was it a different incarnation of the Lord at that time, or was it Vishnu form? What was it?
So Nara Narayana, the both have got 4 hands. Nara also has got 4 hands, but Nara was with a golden complexion. Narayana is 4 hands, and he was with a bluish complexion. And so they were doing meditation there. They were engaged in the meditation. So here he was advised to go and associate with the devotees of Naranarayana. Associate with the devotees of Naranarayana.
Okay, I mean in terms of devotee association. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Any other sharing some updates. Okay, so if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण फ्रेंड्स, एवरीवन। जय श्री कृष्ण।